All right. Okay, thanks everyone for joining us this evening. This is the regular meeting of the Braintree Selectboard. It is October 7th, 2025. And I don't know if we need to add anything else to the agenda. I hope not, because it's kind of a full one. Do you have anything else, Jesse?
Nope.
No, just under the grants. To accept the opening of the new account.
Okay. Okay, great. Let's take a look at the minutes from September 16th. Any questions or comments about the minutes? I'll make a motion that we approve.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, and just really briefly, since our September 16th meeting, we had the incorrect time of day on the agenda. We're just gonna take a moment to reaffirm the approvals that we made at that meeting, which were limited to the payment orders that we reviewed, and then the 3 payroll periods that we reviewed as well. So I'll make a motion that we reaffirm the approvals that we made at the September 16th meeting.
Second.
All those in favor? Aye. Okay, citizens' comments, we have a couple things to review. Lauren, have you had a chance to follow up on any of the concerns about Walker Road?
Done.
It's done? Yes. Do we need to discuss anything, or you're good? You handled it? Yeah, thank you. That's fine.
Thank you.
And just in case folks missed the back and forth. Oh, looks beautiful. Lovely. That's like a beautiful fall picture.
Photo
Rural,
documentation.
you
Love
should
it.
put that on the website.
Yeah.
AI generated.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't think artificial
From
intelligence knows how to properly do.
Sorry, I take it back.
I got many thanks.
Okay,
You deserve them. Thank you.
excellent.
How'd it go?
Yeah.
And so the smell issue with the our neighbor here, I think that Cindy's been copying all of us on those emails, but just to note that there is still some back and forth, and I think hopefully some progress being made with the new refrigerated storage that they're currently building. So I can check
Yeah,
in.
they're working on it.
Yeah, yes.
So I actually talked to someone from over there today.
Oh.
And yeah, they're hoping that the building comes along quickly, but
Okay.
they're of the same mind that I am, and they can't really get anyone to help them track down this issue. That they think that the smell is more from gases from the septic system as opposed to the whole.
Rotting
Yeah.
innards. Yeah.
And. So they are working hard on trying to fix that. They asked if. We talked back and forth, they asked what time, they asked if we were having an issue with it, I said, yeah, we've smelt it quite a bit, we've had people coming in complaining and. So on, and. So, she asked if I would just, I would just keep a, time of day. Running time of day sheet and just let them know when we're smelling it, because they think that. It seems like it's. They're smelling it when they're washing at the end of the day, which I agree,
Okay.
which is. You know, septic system gets full, filled up, and then. You know, you smell it, and then it runs another cycle later at night, which seems to be when they're having it. So, I figured that I'd be sure to keep track of it. And
Okay, thank you.
So,
All right, thank you.
Yep.
If you, I mean, I don't know if you wanna communicate that with Cindy at all, or,
Yeah, I can do that.
okay. Okay. All right, let's jump to the White River Valley Ambulance report from Linda.
So, our administrative assistant has started to do this, I think, well, some of our board members, haven't even gone to select board. So anyway, there's a letter written to you guys, which I'm gonna review most of it. Attached, are some call stats. This is just through January to June, okay, she did. And this one's interesting. This is no transports, which we can talk a little bit more about, but we basically don't get paid very much or anything
Oh,
for no
okay.
transport. So it's just
Gotcha.
curious.
So the
to see.
ambulance goes to where they've been
Yeah,
called,
like
but
it
doesn't
could
end up
be a
transporting.
refusal, it could be a lift assist, somebody
Yeah.
fell and they don't need to be transported, they're just gonna be, picked up. Yeah, yeah. And then this is the Cambridge report that I was talking about, like, remember I told you about the hospital,
Mhm.
review that we went through there?
Mhm.
This is what they did for the EMS, so this was the findings, I thought you guys might like to have that copy.
Yeah, thank you.
All right. So. So she had done kind of a little, she called it talking points, and this was just until June, so I've added a few things on here too. So our call volume, she had done an overview. So most of this is just until the end of June, and I'll tell you if I've added some stuff on here. River Valley has responded to 886 calls the first half of 2025. As of the end of August, it was 1,166 calls. I'll give you a little bit of volume here. So for the January to June, that was 418 911 transports, 139 transfers, 272 no transports, so you can see
Mhm.
that's the tally over there.
Yeah.
And 41 blood draws. We end up doing blood draws mainly for the state police folks. Training and community certifications, this is again January to June. 69 certificates were issued through WERVA for AHS Training Center from January to June, so 69 at that point. These went to EMS, hospitals, law enforcement, National Guard, schools, and community members. 56 first responders are active across our coverage area. And they're still working on that. That was Bethel, Rochester, Stockbridge, and Pittsfield are rolling out or updating their programs with support under our affiliation. Open house and community engagement, we're trying to have the towns know kind of more, a little bit more what we're doing, this, hence the letter that she did for us here. We hosted our second open house in September. We had over a dozen emergency vehicles participate in our Touch a Truck event. Had CPR demos, blood pressure checks, facility tours, and community interaction were all part of the day. Culinary students from the tech center provided food and drinks. We've had an AHS training center now, including advanced stroke life support. Is launching courses in 2026. We have one of our employees who just completed the training, so they'll be able to train our crew on this. This adds to our instructor level training in ACLS, PALS, BLS, and Heart Saver. Critical training for rural areas where early stroke recognition improves outcomes. So we're happy that he's done this training and now can train our crew on early stroke stuff. We're working with District 6 and we are in District 8, so 6 and 8 and the UVM Health Network on a 3-year education initiative. And the goal is to expand and improve EMS training access across central Vermont. We just received some grant funding, our last meeting, the end of September, and we found out that they were awarded some grant funding for that, so we're really happy about that. Financial update, financials are on track with their 2025 budget projections. The 26 budget planning is already underway. And we hope to have the full plan ready at least by December, maybe even before. Repairs and maintenance of our 3 ambulances are the biggest budget
Mm.
challenge for us. As you guys know, keeping trucks on the road and repairs and whatnot. Our audit is underway for 2024. It's through TSS Financial Partners, they're out of Lebanon, New Hampshire. Our executive director and administrative assistant have been taking an emergency medical service leadership course, which we're glad they're doing that. And the District 8 Ed grant will help cover that cost. We gave cost of living raises starting the end of June. Each EMS district has been given a task of creating a 5-year plan for Vermont EMS. That's what that, from the Cambridge report that I gave you. So they have to get a plan together. We've done an employee survey, which was anonymous. Started exit interviews with some folks who left, and that's gonna be ongoing. And our director's review is in process now. We're still looking for a board rep for Brandonville. It's been unfilled for several months, actually almost a year, I think, at this point. And the Werber website is updated constantly and has lots of current info if anybody wants to check that out. Anyway, we are committed to exceptional care, training, and community engagement. And we appreciate the select board's ongoing support. And I have to say, I always feel very supportive at the town here. Any questions or comments or anything you'd like to? Back to the board.
I'll just say, thank you so much, Linda. I mean,
Yeah,
it's really gratifying to have the depth of your participation and attention to all of this for the town. You look at the statistics, it's nice to know that we only had 18 911 assist calls for Braintree. I guess it looks like a low number. I hope that means everybody was somewhat healthy during the time.
They split it out, there's Braintree and then they have East Braintree. I'm not sure why.
Oh, okay, I didn't notice that, but it's still low.
Double that,
Still-
but it's
no,
still very low.
there's a no.
Very low.
But also, you know, it's a huge expense for the town, and it's just really nice to have the depth of your reporting and to see what's happening, and I feel like it's money very well spent by.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, if you ever have anything you want us to bring up to the board, please feel free. So, yeah.
Great.
And thanks again for your support.
Thank you, Linda.
Great.
Any other questions? All right, great. Yeah, so next we're gonna move on to, I'm gonna jump around a little bit. Sorry, Paul. We're gonna do the Community Development Block Grant Award. We have several documents to review and approve to move forward with executing the agreement. But before we do that, Erica has joined us. Thanks so much for coming. And I'll just mention that Sarah Wright from Two Rivers has also been really helpful in putting all the ducks in a row in terms of the approvals for tonight. But it would be great to just hear how the project is going and kind of
Yep.
where things are.
We're still, well, until last Wednesday, we were 8 weeks ahead of schedule. The shutdown is causing a little hiccup now because we're waiting for one more reimbursement that has to come through the federal government, and it's unclear whether it's coming or not, but it got approved. The one that went in before ours during the shutdown got approved, so
Mhm.
somebody is obviously pushing some buttons somewhere. So
Yeah.
fingers crossed that happens. All of the donors or funders are aware of this, and it's just a caveat, it's not having the money, it's just where the money is located and
Yeah.
when we'll be getting it.
Yeah.
So, a couple of things are may push the readiness is some exterior doors needed to be refabricated because of how it butts up against the siding. And the siding that the manufacturer sent, part of it was the wrong color, so they've sent another batch that's the right color. Things are going, knock on wood, very, very well, and the folks that are working, our project manager, who's been working on these kinds of projects for 30 years. has said that this has been an exceptionally well-run project. As of this last reimbursement that we're waiting to come in on the federal side, we'll be revisiting our contingency funds in hopes that we can get the elevator actually put into this part of the work to avoid more stringent Build America, Buy American Act
Mm,
requirements.
Mhm.
Because under the current funding, we don't, manufactured products are not required to be BABA compliant. But any new funding coming in, they would be, and elevators are manufactured products. So, and it looks like we're in pretty good shape for that. So, that might mess with the final timeline and certificate of completion and all that kind of stuff, occupancy. But the childcare center will be good.
okay,
So, it's going really well.
awesome. That's really great to hear. That's amazing. I mean, you never hear about projects being ahead
Yeah,
of
ahead of
schedule.
schedule.
I know.
Yeah, we've, HP Cummings, our site superintendent, Mike Wright is the one who also did the My Place Hotel in
Mhm.
Randolph. And it's down to him.
Yeah.
I mean, because the funding flows
Hmm.
because of the cuts in federal staff have been weird in terms of speed and wonkiness.
Yeah.
But he's been able to keep our subs happy and on the job and, yeah, can't say enough good things.
Very good.
I think I'm done.
Well, that sounds great.
Oh, and Sarah
yeah.
wishes she could be here.
Yeah.
We
I
have
know.
this divide and conquer. I think she's
Yeah.
in Granville or Hancock
Yeah.
tonight, so.
She's got a lot going on for sure. Well, thank you both for getting everything lined up really quickly so that we could approve everything tonight. Really appreciate that. I just wanted to mention a couple things. So, our attorney, Jim Barlow, did do a really thorough review of all of the documentation and, thank you for getting us today the, permission agreement with, NVRC. That was kind of like the final piece, so we have that to approve in the list as well this evening. But as I said, Jim did a thorough review and he did recommend a few things, including that particular permission agreement. And also just wanted, this is in the packet for the select board members, but I just wanted to flag, that, Jim did, advise the board that, he has made, attempts to mitigate some of the exposure that the town might have should the project not come to fruition. And it sounds like that's, not a reality, but it's his job to
Yep.
advise us of exposure. And so I just wanted to mention to everyone that, the email from Jim that lays that out was in the packet, but just wanted to flag that Jim made it really clear to me that he wasn't advising us not to sign the agreements. He just wanted to let us know that, in the event that the project is not completed, and the state asks us to return the funds, that's on us, except that he has built in, some indemnification language in the different agreements, which I think is helpful, to limit that, but that is just something that Jim wanted to pass along to the board. So if anyone has any questions or wants to talk about that, we can certainly do that now.
Make it there yet? It's page 100 if that helps.
I know the packet's really big tonight. It's because of the local hazard mitigation.
I know, it just kept on
Sorry.
going.
I know. That's why Paul had to share it as a link and not a document. Yeah. It's not even this grant's fault. It's because we're approving our local hazard mitigation
Oh,
plan, which is like
yeah.
400 pages. So, yeah. Do you want to look at that?
No, I mean, I saw it earlier
Okay.
today. I guess the thing that I would just say,
Second page.
yeah, it's on.
Oh, okay.
My view is that while there is that kind of exposure does exist and always exists, that it's fairly de minimis for the town. And that given the advantages that we in the community gain from supporting this project, it's certainly worth overcoming or moving forward
Right.
with the approvals, despite those you know, risks that are inherent in any project like
Yeah.
this. So I don't see it as being anything particular or extreme that we wouldn't want to move forward
Right.
with.
And the nature of this particular grant program is that towns always act as the pass-through entity for large amounts of funding pursuant to this program. And I would expect that if there had been enough issues, you know, that towns wouldn't be so willing to opt in to be the pass-through entity. And I mentioned that to Jim and asked if he had, in his experience, ever had a client that was a town, that experienced that, and he said no. So that was good to.
Yeah, I don't know if it helps at all, but, CDBG, we have been involved with another one of their situation just like this for, the LED building in
Yeah.
Randolph. And the state staff work with you every step of the way, because that finished right before the pandemic and a lot of the employment objectives stalled.
Oh, wow, yeah,
And they were at the table with us
yeah,
to address that along the way, so,
okay,
from my perspective, they've been a very good partner in any kind of those kinds of hiccups that have come up.
Yeah.
So,
okay, great. Did you find it yet, Lou?
I'm just looking for the email itself from.
From Jim,
Yeah,
yeah,
and I haven't found that, but it's fine.
Okay,
As I say,
okay.
I saw it this morning and looked at it and carefully.
okay. So are there any other questions for Erica before we move through this list of approvals? Okay, so the first item is the grant agreement itself. And, I have Jim is like the best. He actually wrote like a script you need to follow. Thanks, Linda.
Yes.
Thank you very much, Linda.
Okay, so so the first item being the approval to execute the grant agreement. I move that the select board approve the. Oh, wait, I move the select board authorize the grant agreement with the state of Vermont Agency of Commerce and Community Development, grant number 07110-IG-2024-Braintree-09. And to authorize the chair to execute the grant agreement on behalf of the town. Can I move
No,
that
you can't move
myself?
it, you're-
No,
I'll-
do you wanna do that?
Good lord, I gotta read that again.
Yeah. Here.
I move the select board authorize the grant agreement with the state of Vermont Agency of Commerce Community Development, grant number 07110-IG- 2024 Braintree 09, and to authorize the chair to execute the grant agreement on behalf of the town.
Second, oops, sorry.
That's right.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Alright,
Aye, okay.
Do I have to read the next one too?
you're
I don't
the
know.
leader, Dan.
I'll let
Gonna
you
need
know.
his glasses.
Yeah.
Oh, I am gonna have to school it. Oh my god.
Here, I'll get closer to you.
He's gonna loan me some glasses. Which one am I on?
Um,
Oh, those are too strong, I can't see.
We're on this one, so read the italic.
I move the select board approve the sub-grant agreement, I'll just move back, between the town of Braintree and Green Mountain Economic Development Corporation.
Okay, this is number 3.
Well, you told me this one,
Oh,
and
that's fine.
authorize the chair to execute the agreement on behalf of the town. This is the sub-grant.
Okay, I can't second.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, now
That was the sub-grant.
go back up here to
I
administration.
move the select board approve the contract for administrative services with Two Rivers Ottaquechee Regional Commission and authorize the chair to execute the agreement on behalf of the town.
Second,
All those in favor? Aye,
alright,
okay.
Subordinate mortgage.
Yeah.
I move select board approve the subordinate mortgage to be granted by the Green Mountain Economic Development Corporation in favor of the town of Braintree and authorize the chair to execute the mortgage and related documents on behalf of the town.
second,
All those in favor? Aye.
right,
One more.
Yeah.
I move that the select board approve the permission agreement with the Northern Borders Regional Commission and Green Mountain Economic Development Corporation and authorize the chair to execute the agreement on behalf of the town.
second,
There's one more that's not in the script. We have to approve the PM1 form, the grant agreement resolution.
wait.
Are we all in
Dan just
favor of
moved
that last
something?
one?
Oh, whoops, sorry. Okay, you seconded. All those in favor?
Yep,
Aye.
The
alright,
permission agreement, aye.
Okay,
Okay,
hold on.
No, I don't think.
I move the select board approve the PM-1 form grant agreement resolution. And authorize the chair to execute the agreement on behalf of the town.
Second.
All those in favor?
Just sub a few words.
Thank you. Appreciate that. Okay, that was easy. So that's 6 things that I think I need to sign, although, I don't know, hold on 1 second. Paul printed out all the documents, so I'll take a look as we're going through some of the other items to see if there's places for everyone to sign. Yeah. The PM1 form we actually all sign.
Yeah.
That might be the only one. Okay, so we can work on that. All right, Erica, thank you so much for coming. Oh, yes. Oh, sorry. I'm sorry, Jesse.
Account.
Yes, so we have the non-interest bearing account that we're required to open pursuant to the grant agreement, and Jesse's set that up for us.
And so basically, I just need you to approve the opening of this
We'll make a motion.
account and ICS sweep account in connection with it. So that. That's all I have to say.
I move that we authorize the opening of the account in the ICS
Yes.
sweep account associated with it for purposes of facilitating the grant funds for the last reference project.
Second.
Excellent.
All those in favor?
Aye.
That's why we keep them around.
You're the one with the photographic memory.
Yeah, well, whatever.
All right,
So you'll
I
just
think we're
scan
good.
those and we'll probably execute them on our end.
yep,
Great.
yeah, and I know you mentioned today that for the permission agreement, we could do DocuSign, so I'm happy to do that if you wanna just
Yeah.
send me.
Okay, I'll have Mark set that up.
Yeah, and I think everything else, we just, yeah,
Okay.
I'll work it out, but we'll make sure to get them out the door, tomorrow if we
Great.
can, and, yeah.
Thank you
should
very,
be
very much.
rolling. Yeah,
And I know, number of requisitions, there was a little bit of an exchange about that because
Yes.
we're so close to the end of the project.
Yeah.
I expect that the number of requisitions is going to be fairly small in terms of how many there are,
okay,
but large in terms of the value.
yeah,
So,
okay,
we'll know more about that as we do this revision process
Okay.
on, where things stand with our contingency funds.
okay. Yeah, and in terms of how, I think that exchange was in the context of whether or not we would need to do an
Yeah.
audit.
Mhm.
And Sarah explained that all very well, so we'll just keep tabs on how
Yep.
that develops.
Yeah, and I'm working with them on that as well. So,
Awesome, thank
yeah.
you so much. Thanks
Thank
for
you.
coming.
and,
Thank you very
once
much.
we do have things, kind of buttoned up before it's occupied, we'll
Yeah.
definitely be issuing an invitation for all who are interested to come check it out.
That'd be great.
And
Awesome,
anyone that you think might wanna work in childcare. let me
all
know.
right, yeah. Okay.
Take care.
Thank
Thank
you,
you.
have a good night.
Wow. Heavy lift, boy.
Okay, yes.
Heavy lift.
That's Barbara's, I'm gonna do that one.
Oh, that.
Don't-
Staffing.
Yeah.
That's pretty.
All right, so Paul, since you're here, happy to move to the first item that we have under new business, which is the zoning bylaw update. So it's my understanding that the planning commission, and I noted in the minutes that Jack circulated, that you all were there until 11:14 PM.
We drove by at like 9 something and I was like, how are they, they're so.
They still had hours to
Yeah,
go.
my goodness.
What time did it start?
Seven.
Holy mackerel.
Yeah, I know.
We just.
You guys were
I mean,
determined.
Big understand, I mean, it's only because of the dedication of what I consider to be the two co-chairs of the planning commission, Jackson and Nathan, that we got it done. Okay?
Yeah,
Because there were times when you could very easily have fallen off the table.
yeah,
But the sense that we felt the obligation to get our part done in sufficient time to allow the select board in its own deliberative process, be able to move it to conclusion by the end of the year for plenty of reasons.
yeah, right. And I believe that a few months ago, Jackson had sent to the board a timeline that was kind of needed to be followed, and I can follow up with him and Kyle on like exactly what we need to
Well,
do.
the key thing is that you the select board needs to hold at least one public hearing.
Okay,
And it has to act by the end of the year in order not to go afoul of the grant agreement.
okay.
I think the idea was to do like a 5:30 meeting, right? Where we're gonna try to plug it in right before select board meeting. Or do we not wanna do
And
that
the other
now
thing is that
considering?
it becomes to get tricky between Thanksgiving and Christmas and that's
Yeah, but-
annual meeting and. So
Yeah.
to do it as part of a regular meeting makes, or earlier in the meeting makes.
Yeah, but what concerns me about that is if you were there for 4 hours, are we gonna hear some of the same concerns and time consuming dialogue,
Mhm.
right? Such that we can't do it at 5:30.
Right.
If that makes sense to everybody.
Right, but we would be allotting enough time to it.
I think that I haven't been present for these meetings, but I have been reviewing the minutes and spoke offline a little bit with Jackson, and I think that there have been some concerns voiced from members of the public that they haven't felt heard, and
So
you
it's
know,
gonna stand alone.
I think it should be a standalone, and I'm not citing that, indicating that the planning commission has not given people the
Yeah.
opportunity. I believe that they have, but I just think that those concerns have
Yeah.
been raised, and so.
And there's also the possibility that you may, given the hour or for any other reason, decide that you need to have a second public hearing or a
Right.
subsequent meeting, so that you can't back yourself up, say, well, we'll just have it in the middle of December and we can close it by.
No, I mean, it feels like by the end of this month, you should set one out.
I think so. I think there is a notice period.
Yes.
Is it 30
Like
days?
15 days.
I don't know.
15.
Well, at least, much.
Yeah,
21.
It's 15.
What's that?
I think it's 15, but we.
yeah. Someone
So
want,
if we just like ballpark it at 15, which is what I've been hearing from the planning commission over the past few meetings. You know, we set a notice, 15 days later, we have a hearing. I think we should then perhaps have a public select board discussion of the items that came up at the hearing. And any others that we may want to add.
mhm,
And then hopefully have time maybe at a subsequent select board meeting to approve, like that would be kind of ideal.
Is this is not like a. We don't have a deliberative period in this, right? It's not like a quasi judicial thing where we got 40 days to deliberate.
I would assume so, otherwise then what's the point of holding the,
Act from the time that it's delivered to you from the planning commission. But if you wait that year, you run afoul of the grant agreement in terms of the financing.
oh, we
Yeah,
have a
I'm
year,
considering
not till
you're-
the end of the year. I thought you were saying we had until the end of the
You have
year.
the- Under the grant agreement.
That's gonna be a public meeting, also not a public hearing.
Yeah, but I mean, at this point, there's gonna be little difference.
Yeah.
See what I'm saying?
Well, I'm trying to give us time to receive
Yeah.
input. Think about it, come up with, some solution. I would like that opportunity. Rather than having to receive public input on the fly, make adjustments to the.
No, I wasn't suggesting that. I'm just saying you have to keep in mind that. Any subsequent meeting with all of us here is a public meeting.
Right.
And so
Yeah.
you're gonna have potentially the same people coming in with the same things, so it's gonna, I don't wanna bog things down and just. Yeah, I don't know, it's.
Let me respond to Chelsea's confusion. You have a year to act upon what the planning commission does.
Right.
If you don't act within a year, then it goes back to the planning commission, and the planning commission has to start its process all over again. Under the grant agreement, however, which is paid for the work that Two Rivers has helped us do,
Mhm.
we only have, Braintree only has until the end of this year, this calendar year, December 31st. For the select board to adopt the bylaw. Or there's Braintree.
We lose our match.
We lose the match,
Okay,
okay? So there are two clocks there.
right, so
One is-
the year clock doesn't matter because
Exactly.
technically the town,
Exactly,
okay.
that's right.
That's very interesting.
That is interesting, because it doesn't really give us it gives us a very little window.
Yeah,
That's why we pressed to get our job done.
I-
Last Thursday.
I feel that that's something that maybe should have been addressed at the beginning with Two Rivers and the grant agreement and then putting a stranglehold
No.
on,
Excuse me, Jesse, Two Rivers went and has argued with the state on this.
it was
And-
from the state.
And the state simply said, don't argue, that's it. The grant agreement is clear.
Oh, so it wasn't Two Rivers either, it's the
No,
state.
It's the state. The
And
state.
apparently the funding source has sunsetted. So the whole program is over. They want everything said and done by the end of the year. Otherwise, all we do is we lose our match amount.
What is
I
the
don't-
match
I don't
amount?
know what that is.
What is the,
It's in the thousands, thousand or something.
I think it's 10%, and I don't know what we paid Two Rivers.
I mean, it's not an egregious amount of money, but it is.
Right, yeah, but it's money.
But I think what Lou is putting his finger on is that we need to have a deliberative process at a select board that allows for adequate citizen comment and for adequate deliberation on citizen comment before the select board
Yeah,
act. And that's.
I'm not saying you shouldn't do that, I'm just saying we have to keep in mind that every time we meet, it becomes public, so it's not. The difference is if this was a hearing, we would have, if it was
Right.
a different kind of hearing. It would make us quasi judicial, which this does not, right? At least that's my understanding. So we would have this public hearing and then we deliberate privately, and we don't have that option here. As we do in like an abatement appeal or something like that when it comes to us. See what I'm saying?
Yeah, I do.
So I understand you wanna deliberate, and I'm not saying we shouldn't, but you have to consider those deliberations are also public. They're not a private deliberation that you would get in other circumstances.
Well, let me add this in so we can figure out how we wanna proceed. I participated in a fair number of the recent planning commission meetings, and I left the last meeting at 9:30 after 2.5 hours of very tedious discussion.
This is what I'm saying.
Well, and so let me just finish
Yeah.
my point here is, it is going to be a tedious process. I don't think this is going to be a rubber stamp by any means of the planning commission's work. I think we may hear some comments, we may or may not want to act on things, we may find things in our review of the zoning ordinance that we want to raise, on our own, in public, obviously. But that we may think the planning commission did or didn't do in the best interest of the town. And so I think it's gonna be an involved process. I hear what you're saying, Dan, and I'm interested in giving you hearing that Lou thinks it's gonna be a fairly involved process.
Yeah.
What do you think would be the best way to
There
approach
is
that?
another way. I mean, this is the only way.
Is a public hearing to take public comment.
Yeah, and then but here's the thing though, after that. Any meeting becomes a special meeting and only requires a 24-hour notice, so it doesn't hold the same. Strictures that this public hearing does. The first one is the critical one for us to get to quickly, which requires, Megan just looked it up in 15-day notice, so. I mean, by the end of the month, we can meet once, and then any subsequent meeting, we can do weekly or bi-weekly or whatever we, feel is right.
And that gives us plenty of time.
Because those are just meetings of us, that are special meetings to discuss a matter, not a public hearing that requires these special circumstances.
But those meetings would be public.
Yes.
Yeah, great.
Because we're all here.
Yeah, great.
Let me just make one suggestion.
Thank you.
To help the planning commission and its public documents, as well as to be a help to the select board. We filled out a rather elaborate matrix of all of the comments that have been made,
That's fantastic.
okay? By section of the bylaw, who made the comment, what the comment was, and the planning commission's response.
Yeah.
To that comment, whether it was to accept it, was to explain it, or it was to take no action. And I think that matrix might help you.
Yes.
Get through some of the conversations during the public hearing. Yeah, I mean, rather than having to reinvent the wheel, if you agree with the planning commission's comments, then you could simply share those with the commentor. And it might help expedite the conversation.
Okay, let me ask this question. If and sorry if this has been explained and I missed it. If as a result of these public hearings and whatever subsequently happens. The select board deems that changes need to be made, is that then made by us, or is that brought to the planning
The
commission to make?
select board may make the changes and adopt the document, or the select board may say, we don't know enough about this particular issue and refer it back to the planning commission, and then that kicks over into a whole nother process with the planning commission.
I
We're
just,
supposed
I
to
just
grant
found
that,
that.
it's just-
You want me to read it?
No, that's okay, I mean, I just. I
Well,
just want
I
to.
was, yeah.
yeah, I mean, this is interesting. So this is section 4442 of Title 24. So what the planning commission voted on the other night is their proposal of the bylaw to the legislative body, the select board. And this says amendment of proposal. The legislative body may make minor changes to the proposed bylaw amendment or repeal, but shall not do so less than 14 days prior to the final public hearing. So that to me says that if we want to make any changes, we have to tell the public what the changes are before we hold.
The second hearing. Exactly.
Right, if the legislative body at any time makes substantial changes in the concept, meaning or extent of the proposed bylaw, it shall warn a new public hearing or hearings under subsection A of this section. If any part of the proposal is changed, the legislative body at least 10 days prior to the hearing shall file a copy of the changed proposal with the clerk of the municipality and with the planning commission. The planning commission shall amend the report prepared pursuant to the previous subsection of this title to reflect the changes made by the legislative body and shall submit that amended report to the legislative body at or prior to the public hearing. So it sounds like we have to go back and forth with the planning
If you know
commission.
that, that's right. We are hopeful that there will not be any substantive changes. There may be a couple of additional editorial changes that the planning commission will forward to you before your public hearing, because no document is perfect.
Yeah.
And this was a messy document to begin with. And every time we read it, we find another little tweak of something. Sometimes it's a comma, sometimes it's a phrase, sometimes an inconsistency. And so those we consider to be minor editorial kinds of corrections. They're not substantive. But you may receive some of those from the planning commission after its next meeting.
Does this define minor versus substantive? I mean, I can guess what a substantive change is, but.
Yeah, well, it says substantial changes in the concept, meaning, or extent. So no. That's not
that
very
could be-
helpful.
That could be if we change two words within what's a home.
Well, if you say not as opposed to, I mean, that could be
Right.
substantive.
Yeah, that's what I
And
mean.
not versus from shall to shall not.
Mhm.
That's what I mean, that it's kind of.
I think
overall here.
minor changes to me are like clarifying changes that maintain the intent, but just maybe clarify the process or clarify the criteria associated with a particular provision or something.
But a change of definition of home enterprise is obviously a substantial change.
Yes.
Yeah, changing a number from, a setback number from 50 to 100 or.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Something like that. Those
Yeah.
those I think would be substantive.
yeah. So, I mean, I think that we could try, Dan, you suggested a date at the end of the month.
Yeah, the 28th is like a week after our next meeting.
Okay.
If people are gonna be around. That gives us a
Yeah.
week to get all the paperwork together and it has to be published by that would be the 13th.
And when is the planning
Columbus Day,
commission?
so the day before probably. Like a holiday.
Yeah.
The 13th is?
Mhm.
Holiday weekend.
Yeah, but I mean, the document's already there.
Well, but he just said that they might make a few more changes.
No.
Oh.
but
Is it
we-
the one that's
not
on the
document
website?
that We sent you.
Oh, okay.
These
Did we get it?
changes.
Oh,
Our-
no.
Go ahead.
Our next meeting is next Thursday. If we have some minor, non-substantive
Most of it.
editorial changes,
Yeah, I don't.
we will forward those to you so that you can include them
Right.
in the document that you're taking out to your public hearing.
They
Okay,
want us to use that piece
Yeah.
whenever we're gonna post.
see, we cannot make any more changes to the document that we sent you because we have sent you the document. But we can suggest to you that you consider the following
Got it.
minor editorial.
Got it.
So,
That's
oh
for
yeah,
our
so we
edification.
can notice it by this Friday.
Yes.
I mean, it's Tuesday now, within 3 days, hopefully we can get a notice put together. You can notice it this Friday for the 23rd, that gives you 18 versus. For the 28th, right, that gives you more than your. Well, like I said, it gives you 18 instead of your 15 days notice, so you clearly. Cross that line.
Yeah. So,
It's a Tuesday night, we're sort of used to Tuesday nights, it kind of makes
Yeah.
sense.
we should just make sure that.
Can I
no
ask
one
a
else-
silly question?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Is there any sort of like notation onto what has been something that has been changed from the last time versus new?
Yeah, if you look at the matrix, that indicates, did you look at,
You
okay,
mean the,
No, the matrix responds to comments that the planning commission heard. At
Right.
the public
and
hearing.
then it says what has been changed.
And
But in
also,
terms
It just
of
says
having
what's
a
the
red line
comments on.
document
Mhm.
that shows, here's the original document, here's what's been Xed out, and here's what's been added.
Yeah,
That could be available because, Foul Cats has it.
I think
yeah,
that-
But it's a
That's
very
what I'm
clumsy
asking.
it's a
Yeah.
very-
yeah,
no, I
It's a
think
very
that's,
clumsy document to read.
cause like I don't know what
because
it
of all
was
the
in
changes.
two thousand and ten.
Yeah.
Well-
because the version that's online is just a clean version.
Yeah, exactly, so I'm just
Okay.
curious.
but what you're asking is different though.
No, that is what I was asking.
Okay,
But are you asking
so
what
I'll-
our
I can
current
follow.
bylaws are versus what the new ones are?
Yeah, I
she
was,
wants a red line.
I wanted
She wants
to,
to read it.
But that's different than what you're saying, cause you didn't take our current bylaws and then just go from there,
Oh,
right?
yes, you
You
did.
started.
yeah,
No,
yeah,
no, no.
really.
we took our
They
current-
took
All right,
their.
so I
That was always the 2010 document,
I'll
was
ask
always
them.
the original document that we had to go through.
I see the
page by
matrix, it's at the
page.
top of the.
I see.
draft.
Yeah.
I thought
That's why I
you
got
said-
a couple
And it does-
responses.
Yeah, and the
We
motion.
rewrote some of.
Well, it
the
says what
chapters
sections
as
were
well.
commented on, it doesn't
Okay,
necessarily
but
say
that's
which ones
reflected
were
in that red line version.
changed.
Yeah, there's been a lot more that's changed than what the documents have
Yeah.
been, but like the recent changes, like if you follow the motions that were made, it like, it kind of lays out in the. Notes, the specific changes that they
Gotcha.
voted on, yeah, but those are more recent. Um,
And Megan, I think Jackson sent you a copy of that matrix that.
Yep, and it's online,
Yeah, it's on, yeah.
Paul posted it.
Because I think Chelsea, you could just call it up and you'd see the things.
I'm on the website.
but I'll ask Kyle for the red line and see if we can share that, cause I think that would be helpful. Yeah, so I really encourage everyone to go and look at the matrix to understand what the comments were. And then I think from the other public hearing that was held several months ago,
It wasn't, it
There's-
was public forum.
the public forum, excuse me, I think that there's also documentation of the comments that were made during the public forum as well, if folks are interested in looking at that. And I think some of those comments were made again at your most recent hearing. So I think it would be good for everyone to get a sense of that. And then, yeah, I mean, we can tentatively plan on the 28th, and I can just check in with Kyle. It looks like just from the reading of that statute that we have to wait 15 days from October 2nd. So,
Worst case scenario, what is our match? Like, worst case scenario, we can't come to an agreement in 2 months between all the holidays and whatever happening. What is the match that we lose?
I don't know, that green agreement's.
It's not a lot of money. It's a couple $1,000.
I was just curious.
Yeah.
'cause
Yeah, it would be
it's a
great.
big
if
time
we
of
could-
year.
yeah,
Yeah.
Paul, would you mind asking Kyle about that? I know it's on your grant list.
For some reason, 1,500 to 2,000 stands in my mind, but I could be
Me
wrong.
too.
I think that's right.
And 10% stands in mind.
Yeah, and I think that sounds right too,
Yeah.
given the total value of the grant. So, yeah, I think that would be a good thing to understand.
We just, at the planning commission, did not feel that we had the authority to simply say, we're gonna run out the clock on that, and you have to pay it.
Right,
That's your decision.
right. No, I appreciate that you were diligent in respecting the timeline, and I will do our best to respect that. We'll
Yeah.
see what happens.
It just feels like we don't have a lot of time. to do
Yeah.
it.
Yeah,
Yes, sir.
$1,525.
Very specific.
And the match.
So that,
That's
Yeah,
it.
That's the match.
Oh, 1,500, got it. Thank you very much, thank you.
Okay.
Okay. Paul, anything else that we should keep in, I don't know.
no, I think that. To put this in a bit of context. The review of the unified bylaw, which is essentially the zoning ordinance. Was kicked off by the conclusion and the adoption of the town plan.
Mhm.
Because based upon what the town agreed to in the town plan in terms of its goals, macro goals and goals, district by district. We had to review the zoning ordinance to make sure that they're compatible and consistent with the goal of the plan, okay, all right? We knew that this was gonna be a non-trivial task, and we needed some help. And so we turned to Two Rivers to say, can you help us? And then you may recall 2 years ago, we had this conversation about there was a CBD block grant, and then there was the municipal planning grant option. The first one, there was no money available for us, but there could be money for the municipal, which was the 15,000 and change, okay, that we accepted. The wrinkle in that was that that grant is focused only on housing. So, okay, and because it was to accomplish the state's objectives in terms of encouraging housing construction. So we spent the first year, all of 2024, in effect, going through the ordinance chapter by chapter with Kyle, Two Rivers guidance, looking at the housing pieces and said, this isn't consistent with state law, this is not, it may not be consistent, but it's not helpful. Okay, what are the things that we can do to encourage and within the context of the way in which we have envisioned Braintree? It's always the primary. At the public forum in January of this year, it was very clear from a number of the comments that were made that there are other parts of the zoning ordinance which are difficult to interpret or are inconsistent, okay, or are complicated. And so that drove us back to the drawing board starting in about April, I guess, to look at first subdivision chapter, which came up for a number of comments. Then at the the conditional use chapter. And as we got into those two chapters, they kick off because they refer back to other chapters.
Right.
We got back into chapter 3.
It's too interwoven.
And it's so interwoven, and so that we have been playing very rapidly since April and May to get through these other sections, the whole chapters, and in fact, rewriting and recrafting large portions of them in order to make them flow from, okay, folks, here's what it means in terms of what an applicant is required to submit for review for a site plan or for conditional use or for a subdivision. Here are the things that are required by the state, such as water and sewer. Okay, it was always clear where, in which section, you didn't know. We're trying to say, here is what's required of you as an applicant. Here's what the process of review will be, okay, and so forth, and just make it flow. But it goes chapter by chapter, and it starts off with very broad. What are the general conditions? Forget about conditional use, forget about subdivision, forget about site plan. What are the general conditions that any applicant has to provide? Okay, and then once you say, oh, maybe if I'm doing this, it triggers a chapter. Then you have to go to that chapter to find out what is it, okay? So it is a much simplified document. But it is a document that you have to sort of go through to understand the whole flow if you trigger any one of these things, including some state reviews. State reviews, if it's flood, inundations, you're in a floodplain. You know, I mean, there's a bunch of little things that trigger extra reviews. And if the applicant isn't aware of those at the time that he or she is making the application, it becomes very complicated.
Mhm.
And this makes the question of how you administer this and the role of the zoning officer very, very important.
Yeah.
Very, very important. DRB gets thrown into it because it kicks into DRB. But the first stage, the public interfaces with this. It says, hey, I just want to carve off 10 acres of my land here, and give it to my son or daughter-in-law, all right?
Mhm.
Okay, well, okay, what might be involved with that?
Right.
Some things the zoning officer can do by itself, some things he can't. All right, so that I think it's a document that's never gonna be perfect because there are too many changes and too many. And it is a document that also assumes, and this is very important, assumes that the administrative officer and the DRB can exercise judgment. You can never articulate all the possible possibilities
Right.
and put it into a document.
Yeah.
You have to say, these are the concerns that you have, okay? But it has to come down to the judgment. Sometimes the judgment is limited.
Mhm.
Well, it has to come down to saying, you gotta have judgment and you gotta trust the process and the people who are there to enforce it, or to administer it, do have the wisdom and the experience to do the job right.
Right.
I mean, that's where the rubber hits the.
Yeah.
So it was a much bigger project than we originally anticipated,
Mhm.
moving from housing into massive, very significant rewrites.
Yeah.
But I think, well, it's not a perfect document, it's a whole lot better than what we have.
I can tell you from reading zoning bylaws in towns across Vermont and New Hampshire, they're all incredibly complicated.
Yeah.
And it matters a lot how well they work within themselves and how easily you can track things with that.
Let me just say, in a former lifetime, I'm an old guy, in a former lifetime, I was director of the Manhattan office of lower and local area planning in the city of New York, okay? During my time at the City Planning Commission, I helped draft plans, draft zoning ordinances, and then as director of the Manhattan office, had to administer those with architects, engineers, and developers, including a very young Donald Trump. Okay? So this process is not a strange one to me. And I think you've tried to do the best of what is really feasible for here in Braintree.
And reasonable.
And reasonable,
Yeah.
yes, yes.
Thank you.
Well, thank you so much for coming tonight to represent the work and for all the time and the many hours that you all put into it. Really appreciate it. We'll do our best to keep up the momentum.
And I think the planning commission is prepared to be as supportive of your process as possible.
Okay, thank you. All right, so we will pencil in a potential hearing date
Yeah,
of the 28th to have at least an initial hearing.
we gotta get through that first hurdle, then we
Yeah.
can meet as much as we want, but we've got that.
Yeah,
I will not be here in person, but I will be here budget.
on the 28th.
Yeah.
Okay. Are you okay with that? Or would you
Totally,
rather
yeah.
find, okay,
No, we gotta keep it moving, and I'm sorry,
Okay.
I'm gonna be gone for the next like 3 weeks.
that's okay.
Summer fun,
What's that?
summer fun,
Yeah.
good. Good for you.
All right,
Lou, by the way, has been very helpful in this, as
Well,
a private citizen, not.
some might agree, some might.
Are we assuming 6, like normal, or?
Yeah, I don't know, what time you wanna meet?
yeah, I think that's a.
5 is
fine.
tough.
Yeah, let's do 6. Is that okay, Chelsea?
Yeah, I'm just putting it in now so I don't forget.
Okay, I'll send a reminder too. I'm just gonna check in with Kyle to make sure that that works. And then we'll get it on the calendar. Okay, I guess just in case, I'll make a motion that we hold the select board hearing related to the bylaw adoption process on October 28th at 6 PM. Should we do it here or at the town hall?
Ooh, that's a
Very
good
curious.
question.
Well,
I would only say that in the public forum and a public hearing here, you could hold it here.
Okay.
The number of people who show
Okay.
up.
But we won't have more than that, I don't imagine, if anything, it'll be less.
Yeah,
I think so.
okay, we'll do it here. So October 28th, 6 PM at the town office.
Who was the second, please?
Oh,
I'll say.
thanks. All those in favor? Aye. Okay. All right,
My goodness.
let's revisit
Still got
what
lots.
we've missed here. Okay, should we go to the? Well,
He's got his notebook again.
I know, that's fine. Jesse, are you trying to get out of here? Do you want us to cover
let's talk
any
about that
items
shed.
that you have?
What is it?
It doesn't matter what order you go in.
Are you sure? All right, we'll go back up to the top, highway report,
That's you.
Foreman, Ben.
He can't see anything, he can't even read his own.
Yeah, Chris, I can't read.
He has eyes down.
Just came back from
Well,
doctors.
while you're focusing, I just wanna say that, I've heard a lot of praise for you over the last few weeks.
Don't tell him that, he doesn't even need stoking.
Well, I think people are really pleased with all that you're doing, so just wanted to let you know that.
Yeah, so I told you already, Walker Road's been
Mhm.
taken care of. We re-ditched it and put a little more gravel up there to make it wider, so everybody was happy. Blacktop's gonna be here the 16th and the 17th to do the blacktopping.
If it's not raining.
Of October?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
Okay.
next Thursday and Friday.
Someone at my yoga class heard that they were paving all of Bent Hill.
That's true.
And I walked in and they were like raving about it and I was just like, who, what? And I was like, I can confirm that that is not. Like, and then I realized that what they had heard was that we were paving the portion that is already paved, and I was like,
We didn't.
oh.
Say anything about fire.
Right. But I think that people were like, you're paving all of Bent Hill. Yeah,
Yeah, all the way to the brewery.
yeah, right.
Perfect.
What's the speed limit on that, 70?
What'd be after that?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, sorry to interrupt. Go ahead.
That's okay.
16 and 17.
We finished mowing. And I got I've been having Pete go out and mow some brush, but today he went out with a mower and it's sitting upside the road, broke.
It's broken down at the near Flint on Braintree.
Yeah,
Mm.
been putting in culverts that we purchased. Cleaned all culverts, the inlets and outlets that needed it, done that. Trucks are getting inspected. We're gonna get those ready for winter here shortly. So. I've been working on Fairbrook. The grant over there
For the culvert.
for the culvert.
Okay.
And I have found somebody that will do it. It's a dump truck and an excavator for $2.95 an hour. And he'll do it by the hour. And he also has a roller or vibrator, which we'll need to put it. Material back in. And he's willing to help us just have it, we'll do it and he'll be a contractor that we hire to help us.
So the idea would be,
So,
he's our sub, and basically 3 of
Hmm.
our guys would be over there working on it 2 or 3 at a time. Cause it's him and one other person
Okay.
with his equipment, cause we don't have the big enough equipment, so he comes and all the equipment's 300 an hour. We figured if he works for, what, 4 weeks? It's about $48,000,
That's a deal.
and then our time is whatever, you know,
Right.
these guys.
you're gonna pay us anyway, so.
Yeah.
The material for the concrete is about 10 grand, you know, there'll be some road servicing, somebody ought to put the guardrails back,
Guardrails.
which won't be a huge expense, but it's likely we get by with like $100,000 versus the
Or less.
180 the contractors were gonna charge us.
Yeah,
That's if we act as the contractor, right?
right.
It ties these guys up, at least, you know, half the crew for a month.
We're gonna need about $6,000 worth of backfill, cause the first 2 feet around the
Hmm.
structure has to be sand.
Yeah.
Back, so.
And this will be when roughly?
Well, that's the trick. The FEMA extension only goes into July of next year, so it has to be done. We called this guy and said, if we do it, we're gonna prep leading in, because we can't get in the water till July 1st. So before that, the 2 weeks leading up to it, we pull out the guardrail.
So it's
That
July.
doesn't take time. Yeah, it's basically July 1, he's here probably. If we're gonna be able to expend the FEMA funds as part of it.
We should, I mean, we should expend those first so that we can seek reimbursement
The
prior to
only,
the
the only
July.
way that this would actually
30th.
cost more than what we figured out, really, is if we hit ledge.
Well, that was my next question. We had talked at a previous meeting about doing
Yeah.
some boring.
When we looked at the height, I don't know that we have to drop. Doesn't have to go down much below what the culvert is, based on the way the structure was. I
Actually,
didn't think it was that much, was it?
yeah, those, already made panels that we put in footings.
That's right,
Pull
just that section.
It's 6 foot deep.
Yeah.
How
It's-
much would
But the
the,
structure itself, so like the full length doesn't have to be.
yeah,
super.
how much would it cost to bore some holes to see how deep the?
I think the last time I had somebody do it, Marshall, it was 2,500.
Yeah,
They came out for a day and having holes.
Yeah,
I
but
think
he's
it's
only
on
got 2
good
weeks to
insurance.
get, we only got 2 weeks to get it done. He had to dig holes with that water.
No, he won't be in a well. He's not digging. All they do is
Okay,
they take a pin that's.
oh, you're not digging
Around.
pet holes, you're just boring.
boring.
And they just keep
Pounding
hammering
it.
it down till it stops.
Yeah, I think we should do that because I think that'll be a good insurance policy against a delay and an expense.
Well, he
Like,
might have a plan for that. What's the next item on your list?
Yeah. So. Shits and giggles, I called. Beauregard up there and asked him what our excavator would take for a hammer. And he said, well, there'd be 2 different ones that would fit. I said, well, what's it go big? And I thought it'd be 50,000-60,000 for this.
to rent it or to buy it?
To buy one, a hammer, and have it mounted on.
Because
Yeah.
things like Duclaw, when we bring somebody in and they're renting, every time we bring a contractor, if we need to set
Sure.
a culvert, that has to be
Dorans.
lower.
If we get Better Back Roads grant, we're gonna need a hammer for that culvert. Allen Beck Road, we're gonna need a hammer for the upper culvert.
Okay,
There's numerous ledge around town that we could hammer back away from the road, so the wings don't keep slapping them.
And this wasn't an option, obviously, until we had to.
But it's nothing that you have to, cause yeah, depends, if we hit ledge on.
And what was the price on?
Just under 25,000.
Oh.
Yeah, that's what he didn't say that part.
wait, that's what he thought it was gonna be.
We both thought it would be upward, I thought 60-65.
Yeah, I was thinking 50-60 and I got a price on it, and the guy says, no, 25,000.
And that includes modifications to the.
But it's nothing we have to purchase. Until next spring, if it's something we wanna, we can think about this.
It's not something that has like a 6-month lead time in order for us to get it. It's like something they'll
Might
just,
go up just a few thousand.
okay.
Yeah.
I meant,
That is all mounted.
Yeah.
And hydraulically hitched into the machine.
yeah. Order it and it's here a year later, type
Oh,
of
yeah.
situation.
Park it up there, their shop, they'll mount it,
So the,
plumb it in.
the way this works to our benefit is like how long is the ROI for grant work, right? If we're charging it out, a hammer under grant work. At whatever, 175 an hour, that's. 130, 140 hours and it's paid for, and then everything above that is just money.
Yeah, no, I see what you're saying. I guess the
It's nothing you're gonna make a decision on right now. It's
Yeah.
something to think about. It's
Yeah.
all-
And so it's a matter of whether we keep bringing people into Hammer or whether we get one that'll do
You know, you-
some of the work here.
Yeah.
You're bringing back for a day, it's gonna be $3,000. Each time he comes back,
Yeah,
And how many days were they hammering up at Duquo?
day and 3 hours, so he was. Just over, Bill was just.
Well, that's the second time they came. The first time it was a full week.
It was, yeah, so that, then, sorry, just for, naive Lou to get his brain around this, it's like, that project was.
50 hours.
Was 50 hours, and we need, what did you say to pay it back? 130?
130, 150.
I actually think in here somewhere it's a closeout. On Duclaw. The grants and aid 25, yeah. That's in there, right?
yeah,
And it also just keeps it within our control, and we can do it when we need it, not on somebody else's schedule and stuff.
yeah. I mean, I just know that our vehicle and equipment fund is hurting.
Yes, we know that.
So-
That's why, no, we're just
I'm just,
proposing this without
Next year.
asking for a decision.
Mhm.
we're not looking for a decision right now, we're just.
Okay,
Really
And,
good idea.
and part of this might be informed by if we go test over there and we don't find ledge, then it's not as much of a priority, right?
And,
Well,
if
do
we
we-
get the grant for Fresher Road and Allen Bent Road. We got 2 years to do that, so.
yeah, but
That's
if,
a Better Back Road grant.
And next summer is busy, so we don't know that we'll get to those next summer, because we gotta finish Braintree Hill. There's gonna be a lot
Right.
of work, and this is a month. And then we have to finish that one next year or it expires.
I've gotta come up with some numbers for those culverts. For Rita to apply the Better Back Roads grant, she's gonna apply for it for us.
okay,
I can
Sounds
get
good.
that to her and-
Sorry, we kind of been jumping, but that's sort of.
okay. Yeah, I guess I'm just trying to figure out, like, do we figure out if there's ledge or not now and spend the
Yeah.
$2,500, or do we just not worry about it because we're potentially gonna invest in a hammer? Like, I guess I'm not sure what the,
I would find out because,
We can put it off for a couple of years if we don't.
yeah, I would find out, because it's gonna inform your decision of whether you buy one now or not, and it's also
Yeah.
gonna affect. We
Steve,
have to be prepared in July, if we know it's there
Gonna
in
impact our
July, when they
closure.
show up,
yeah,
we show up with it, you know what I mean?
yeah,
It-
yeah.
We plan for it.
It's part of the
Yeah.
We're not paused
expectations,
for
but we
2
can
weeks
tell
while
the
hammer shows
residents
up.
that this,
Yeah.
this road is gonna be closed for however many weeks, yeah.
Right, because if it takes the guy that came to Duclaw a week to get here, then we're stuck for a week while we wait.
he's
Yeah.
got 2 machines and
Yeah, but there's a possibility.
Okay,
Prior planning.
I can pull.
Yes.
Yes,
Alright, so let's
But I don't want.
let's go ahead and figure out if there's ledge. I think,
Project this, you're talking about a $400,000, $300,000 project, it's worth $2,500 to see what
Yeah.
you're getting into.
okay. Okay, what else, Lauren?
That's it. So you weren't that bad.
That's it.
That was the
I
short
know.
list.
Megan, may I make a?
Truck, well,
Yes.
we did talk about truck.
You spend a lot of time on culverts,
Mm-hmm,
and it's critical, given what's happening, to have culverts. Lauren is the only road foreman who has realized that there is a culvert on Rifle Brook Road with an entrance and no exit.
there are many of those. We've been-
This is one right where, while Rifle Brook Road got washed out. and-
We cannot find where it comes out.
I knew that, and.
And if you look down it-
Conversation with him, he said,
Full of
we're
gravel.
already ahead of you.
Yeah,
So, I
It's the
got, I
mystery
bought a
of
culvert
culvert.
to replace it.
We did really good hiring that road.
I know.
I commend everyone on the floor.
The only other thing is, we had a question, or I had a question, I think, much same thing is. When are we scheduled to get the next truck? Because I think the lead time on the last one was about 18 months, and so do we need to be looking into that for now? I think it's in year 27, right?
So we still got time.
But by next summer, you need to be,
We were looking at them, I think this time for the last truck that we bought. Cause 27 is next year.
That's what I mean,
Mhm.
This could be.
Mm-hmm.
in less than 12 months from now. We're
Yeah.
at 27.
I did talk to a dealer, a salesman today, and he said right now, lead time to build truck right now is only out a month. So
Okay,
it's
so never mind.
it's gonna come way down, but that's just to build the cabin chassis.
Right,
To put all the other stuff on it, you're at least a year out.
really?
Yeah.
So how come,
Cause
How come 10 call
cause the
isn't
choke
shortened?
point is at 10.
right, but what? Yeah, that doesn't make any sense to me, like,
They
if,
don't help
yeah,
put to build trucks. You know, to put the plow on, to put the bodies on.
So
Right.
from a purchase standpoint. When they deliver the truck in a month, we're on the hook to pay for that.
Mm.
Not when it's complete with the plow body, we're talking about two separate payment pieces, so
Mhm.
we would have to wait on the truck until June of next year and then just
eat the year,
eat the year.
yeah. But if the lead time changes though, Lauren, let us know, and we can act on it,
Yeah, I'll keep in
yeah,
touch with them and see, make sure.
okay.
What else did we talk about yesterday morning? I was over here for like an hour, I mean, forget it.
Close.
When you,
That's
when,
a separate item.
yeah, that's separate, but wait, I have one more question about the truck purchase, Lauren, when you talked to, who did you talk to, which dealer?
We'll say Weston's Tire.
Um,
Yeah.
did they, cause I heard in the news that there's like a new hefty tariff being applied to heavy truck imports. Are those built here or
I'll tell you.
is that, sounds like that might.
Western Car is Freightliner, so it'll be whatever that is. They're one and the same, Freightliner bought them out.
I could ask him.
And Freightliner is owned by,
Don't,
I do know that like Northfield, they bought 2 trucks, because they were scared
yeah,
tariffs are gonna kick in.
we
Right,
don't have that kind of cash, man.
I don't think they had that kind of cash, they borrowed it, because they figured. The money they'd save by paying interest would be
Daimler,
Great.
less than what they.
Daimler's definitely importing their trucks.
Yeah.
Well, it'll be an interesting bid process.
And right now, the truck that we're gonna replace is up being worked on,
The Mac,
because it has a skid.
it's having many more problems sooner or later.
Yeah. Okay. Well, we'll put it on the radar. But yeah, we can't pay for it until, well, I think we're having a hard time paying for it.
Yeah, no. I'll put it up, we'll put it off as long as we can. You know, it's a balancing act, how much money we're sinking into this
Yeah,
16 or
Right.
19 right?
okay. All right, anything else for highway?
Thank you, Lauren.
Yes, thank you.
That's all
All right, so we have a new standing item under reports, which is from Paul on the grants report and the grants that he's been tracking and various happenings, so I'll turn it over to Paul.
Thank you. Just 2 for this report. The FY 25 V-Trans grant report in aid, grant in aid closeout has been submitted and for $17,750 reimbursement. And there was a little back and forth, but they accepted it and it's in the queue to be paid. We haven't received it yet. And with some help from Daniel, I resubmitted a letter to request an extension on the Thayer Brook Road culvert headwall grant. And
For the FEMA?
Mhm.
yeah, and they're still considering that. I guess I haven't heard back yet. But they haven't responded and said anything negative, so
Like last time.
Yeah.
No news is good news.
so, I think I'll check on that with them this week, just to see
Okay.
the status on
Thanks,
that.
Paul. And if they don't grant that for some reason, then our deadline is the end of this year, right?
Well, it's October 30th.
Okay, so, yeah, okay, thank you. All right, anything else on grant? Okay.
For now.
I will note, Paul, that, with, assuming that we'll vote to adopt the local hazard mitigation plan tonight, if, next time we could talk about how to seek reimbursement for that grant. Because I think that will allow us to close that out. So just to give you a heads up on that one. Okay, local hazard mitigation plan is the first item under old business, so, we started the planner at Two Rivers that we had initially been working with Gina on the plan, left Two Rivers, and so Kyle Katz, who we all know, took over and has done a great job, being responsive to the state in terms of some of the issues that they had with, the plan approval, mostly related to the federal requirement that we have to meet. And so Kyle, after some back and forth state, submitted the plan, which is the bulk of the packet for tonight. And they indicated that they would approve it, and we just need to adopt this certificate.
I'll make a motion,
The only thing I noticed was that, we've had some employee changes since this draft was made.
Oh. Yeah,
And so Janice is still on there, Dylan is still on there.
okay. Let's approve it, and then I'll ask Kyle about just making those some, like
Adjustments? Yeah.
administrative updates
Okay.
that shouldn't be any problem, given that that probably happens. Fortunately, in the case of Janice leaving, her email and phone are still what Paul uses, so
Mhm.
that's helpful. For Dylan, it's different though, so I'll check with Kyle about that. Thanks for catching that, children.
Was there a second to Dana's motion?
I'll second. Okay, all those in favor? Aye. Okay, thanks, everyone. Storage shed, Jesse.
There's a really nice storage shed. Almost all done in the garage.
we're waiting on Tim.
To come out.
That's so exciting.
Wow.
Wow, that was built here. Nice.
Didn't really,
Did you, did you oversee, did they meet your specifications? Like, did you tell them what you wanted and?
I did tell them what I wanted and it's pretty close.
How big is the pool?
Big enough.
Oh,
Pool table.
So what you're saying is that we need to buy a side by side and park it in this.
You should have the town side of it.
We should. I know, then Lauren wouldn't have to use his.
So I'm unfortunately. Doing it going down this path didn't really accomplish what I was trying to accomplish, which was keep it in budget, but it's done. If enough people complain, I'm sure we can sell it for twice what we put into it, because.
We should probably just go into business.
Yep, it's great.
That's awesome.
There's enough storage for ever,
Can we do that this week? Can we just like have these guys do it?
as long as I'll be here. Let's just clarify.
That's
that.
great. So it's high quality craftsmanship.
Yeah.
We put a couple shelves in it on one side.
Nice.
Well,
so you got a shed.
I know. What was
she
the
shed.
cost?
It's not done yet, so I
Okay.
can't really tell you.
Waiting on
Okay.
Tim.
That usually is.
Oh,
expensive.
you are so diplomatic.
All right, awesome. Thanks to whoever made that happen. That's great. Okay, next fun item, uniform vendor / uniform stipend discussion continued. You have any update?
Table?
The invoice is in there for them, right?
Oh, yeah, are we still under contract with the Universe?
No.
Well,
So we never were, well, I asked Jim, our
Yeah.
lawyer,
This is-
about the validity of the UniFirst contract
Mhm.
that Dylan signed without authorization. And Jim said that he had another situation with the same vendor in another town, and they told the vendor essentially to go pound sand, and they never heard anything from them again. So,
It's great news.
So since you tell them.
I've already told them that we were canceling service, I'm not sure why they keep bringing uniforms and stuff. So I will call them and say,
Well, what's going on with Syntax though?
Cintas is, as far as I know,
We're still waiting on size
yeah,
and
they're,
their size.
Well, there's about 6 invoices in there for Centus. Of $159 a piece or
I don't
something.
know if we should pay that now or not, because we still ain't got our uniform.
it depends on what,
There's only one in there for.
They're all hanging in the freaking.
Did they send any
The only one that's
documentation
using
in
is
terms of
press.
a contract, Jesse? Like
Cintas.
any kind of agreement that they wanted us to enter into, or this just
I'm
a
not sure.
pay as you
Lisa's
go?
Been, communicating with them back and forth, so I'm not
Okay.
really sure.
I think some of this is set up, I don't know, although I can look through them. The problem is Pete and Charles's pants don't fit, and I talked to the service manager and he's trying to get
That's all that fits me is his pants.
his new ones. Chris is everything for
I haven't
Chris.
seen any
for
jackets yet.
For you or for anybody.
You know, they only half-ass set us up, really. I don't know why we should be paying them.
Like they're a uniform,
Yeah, you think?
Yeah.
it's like there's one.
So let's not pay this, I'm gonna go through it and see what we actually have.
Well, they
versus
could put
what's
the
on.
rugs and.
And then
large
for
towels and
UniFirst, I don't think we should pay that either.
aprons, so
No,
Cause we're not,
Yeah.
we're not using anything, but they're,
They should
No.
have sizes.
okay,
And
so
stuff,
I think
yeah.
we just stopped paying those invoices. Jim felt confident that the contract was not valid.
I told the guy, we're done, he said, well, you signed a contract and you know the penalty on your contract's worth like $10,000, so if you get out of it, you owe us half that, I said.
You also told me.
I said, good luck trying to collect that, but
Buy some of the
I'm
clothing,
not
right?
gonna pay it because it was never properly signed, the contract wasn't. I said, I'll buy the uniform from you, we can compromise there. Said, oh, maybe I can do that, I'll talk to my manager and get back to you by the end of the day, and it's been, I don't know, a week and a half.
Yeah,
since that
over a
happened.
week. It was a 5-year contract. The terms of which, if we had reviewed.
And that's what I told him,
Not-
I said, I gotta tell you, I've never signed a contract like this and never
No.
would, I said, the terms are
So unfavorable to the town.
incredibly bad. I said, so.
Yeah,
Anyway, we'll see what happens. I need to email him because he was supposed to get back to me 10 days ago. And then I'll find out what if this really is.
Yeah. when, well, I guess we can cross that bridge when we come to it, but if we're gonna exclude the invoices from UniFirst and Cintas, do we just say that in the motion? I can't remember how we do that.
so.
Yeah, okay. Okay, so you're gonna see if we can continue to work things out with Cintas.
Well,
and-
he told me, he said, I know the problems, I'm
He
gonna
said a
fix
month.
them, it's gonna take a minute.
He said a month, it ain't been a month yet.
Yeah, he
Okay.
said, give me a month to
All right.
fix it, because some of the sizes are such that they're special orders, it's gonna take me a minute to
Okay.
get here, get them monogrammed and all
Yep.
that kind of stuff.
Okay, so we're gonna continue with Cintas for now.
It's the monograms.
Yeah, that's exactly.
But wait
Makes
to
it
pay.
fancy.
Okay, next item is, a quick one, just to let everyone know that the Snowsville Village designation was approved by the state. And that is now official, they are a village. And yeah, that's that. Thank you, Lou, for working on that.
Yeah, shit.
Okay, we did the grand stuff, Windows 11 updates and new computers. Jesse.
Yes, so, I should have written down what happened because it's been so long, I can't even remember it. I think a couple of our computers weren't working so Windows 10 runs out in October
Right.
and, our IT company wasn't gonna support it and there's no support for it anymore. What we can do is that computer over there. Any that we were able to update to 11, we did.
Mm-hmm.
That one won't update to 11 and that. I think it's that laptop will update to 11. You can pay. Like $61 for a year extension of them covering.
Why, do you know why?
So just a memory, is it like a spatially they won't update?
I don't remember what it told me when I tried to do it. It might be space, I think. I do think it's space
Oh,
for both of them.
That's weird.
I'll try it again and I can get back.
And most
to
of
you.
what's on here
And I
should be like in the cloud.
Yeah,
because I don't really, I'm not really looking for any answers tonight.
okay,
But I just wanted to put it out there that it is time to update that and we will need to put that on in the next budget.
the computer itself,
Yeah,
yeah.
and, uh. Oh, that was the other thing. No. No, it's Grace's that won't update, the zoning one.
That one might be space oriented. right?
Didn't we just get her a new computer or did we get a new laptop?
Yeah.
Okay.
Typical. I don't know.
But-
It's just for everyone. Daniel,
Yeah, I know, he's distracting.
so,
What?
Yes, he has
um,
the floor.
so it's the zoning laptop that won't update, that's the one that won't update. And
Okay.
I'm not sure that we need to replace it for any reason, it hasn't been used,
Yeah, not
And-
unless we had a zoning administrator that wasn't also the assistant town clerk.
right. So
Yeah.
we can worry about it at that point in time.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
yeah, that was it, and I'm using its space on but that one's ready to.
It's old, it's in the queue for
Yeah.
being updated.
So
Okay.
actually, I guess I could ask for. A motion to extend that past October for another year for $69 and.
And we'll update it next fiscal year,
Yeah, we'll get a new one.
get a new one, yeah, okay.
That's a good idea.
Yes, I'll make a motion that we purchase the Windows 10 extension for the admin assistant desktop computer.
Second.
All those in favor?
Hi.
Aye. Okay,
So the next is the Caterpillar equipment lease, and in
Yeah.
that was the invoice for the first payment that we're supposed to be making.
Yeah.
That I guess is holding up us getting it.
I assume, I don't know, you just, what you got is what I got.
But the problem is that Grace has reached out repeatedly asking for a W-9 because we don't have them in our vendor list. And they have not responded, nor have they sent them. So
Have you talked to Jeff or
Yeah.
who?
in there for them,
Is this, who have you been talking to? Jeff, the guy that emailed us or?
not me.
Okay,
Want me to call Jeff? He's the salesman, I'll call him.
Jeff's Lee.
Yeah, you can call him and tell him he's not getting checked until he get a W-9, because I mean, it seems weird that we haven't done business with them.
Oh,
But
yeah, we can. Cause they bought a loader, and that's what Mike Ferris bought, was the cat loader. So, and we also bought a cat backhoe, and that's what the excavator took the place on. So we have dealt with
so
them,
what's this
so there must be somewhere.
name?
Um,
On that paperwork, the,
Milton, it's Milton's guy.
yeah, we've definitely done business with them.
there should be.
oh,
And we've already voted to enter into the lease agreement, right?
Yeah. Yeah, we were, this is the lease agreement's in place, this is us just paying the first installment.
Gotcha, which we're having a hard time doing.
Fair enough.
I think that's how much we pay for consolidated every month,
That's insane.
yes.
How do we change that?
I think Jesse put some effort into it, but you know, there's only so many hours in a day.
I was gonna say, I feel like we talked about this in the spring or last fall.
You're talking $5,000 a year just for consolidating. What is this? Northeast. Do they go in the northeast? Hmm? Yeah, notarize it.
Yeah, I should have had Erica sign it while she was here. Darn it.
I can notarize it.
Well, Jess can too, but I'll just see if Erica can come in this week.
The car.
Yeah, we've got it, it's under Southwood Milton, I think it's probably like Grace Connect.
Oh. Not Milton.
So
The rebranding got her.
Okay,
Wait, there's no.
so we're
we'll,
okay.
we'll have to
Who's this?
do a checkup and add somebody.
Nine.
Okay,
There's no
Don't
choice.
stop on sign tomorrow.
No, I think only
what that?
I think only you or Dan can come in and sign, oh, I don't know why she put that in there.
Okay. Let's. Move on to Rolling Run.
Ah, yes.
What's going on at Rolling Run?
You wanna start or
So-
me too?
Oh, sorry, I didn't know who was in charge of the.
Perfect. She's in charge.
Okay,
I'm just a bystander.
So AOT had reached out to us anyways a while ago. After we finally got everything else put to bed, this Cannon bird and everything else. And said that there's this weird something or other that happened in like 1968 where. Supposedly like all of Rolling Rock was class 3 and then somebody didn't get the correct. Right of way agreements for the road, so like. A huge portion of it was like no longer,
What's her-
class,
Any kind of class, went from 0.67 miles to 0.25 miles overnight.
right? And so.
But there are other maps that put it at 0.43 miles and some maps that put it at 0.37 miles.
mm-hmm,
And right now we have it at 0.25 miles.
And so we were plowing up until just before 298,
No.
but now. Yeah, but now somebody's living there and saying that it's class 3 road past their house, they want it plowed past their house. And everything else, so I think there's two different things here, I'm not sure that we'll be able to get an answer by the time it comes to plowing, so we may need to visit that at some point. But, cause I didn't.
We can't plow the road this winter unless it's upgraded, so. I mean, that's narrows right up to just a cow path and
where do you turn around now?
Well, so here's the deal.
just before the.
The current map has it at 0.2 miles of class 3 and 0.05 miles of class 4. That's the entire road of Rolling Rock from the town's perspective. I went out and GPSed it the other day. The 0.2 miles ends at the center of the turnaround that they currently use.
Yeah,
And that's it. And then the 0.05 goes basically to the end of the next driveway at 255. But that's class 4. Okay. So
and then
there's-
beyond that, it's.
and then beyond that is not even a road.
Right,
And from our perspective, it's not a public road. So these guys at 298 have a right of way, I don't know where it comes from. Cause it doesn't appear to be the towns that leads sort of on a road that might be owned by Fish and Game, cause it goes out to their gate. And then their driveway comes off.
Property doesn't start until.
Doesn't matter if they have it doesn't matter if they have the access right of way.
right,
Yeah,
Maybe it's these landowners that own the road,
Right.
it's just unclear where the heck the road is and who owns it and how long it is.
yeah,
Shouldn't we have it surveyed?
Well, so, that's what we're getting to, go ahead.
No, you go ahead, it's your guy.
So I know a guy. I know an old guy in Sharon,
mhm,
named Larry Swanson, who's. Semi-retired surveyor who's done a ton of these roads, who I trust does a very good job. And knows what he's doing, and is not like a, pathways consultant at $800 an hour sort of thing.
yeah,
Who I called last week when all this was happening, he said, Larry, if you got a minute. It's not pressing for time, I mean, it'd be nice to know before the winter, but it's not pressing. if you could fit it in like winter work, can you come figure out what's going on?
Mhm.
And he said, yes, he said it would be at least November, maybe into December before he could begin to get here. But he would love to, he loves these old road issues and we've done a ton
So
of.
he would do all the research to determine.
Yeah, he said if we wanna cut costs, he's like, you know, cause I talk to him all the time, he's like, if you wanna cut costs, I'll give you some tasks and, you know, I trust you to go figure it out. You will give me some documents and we'll work through it together and we'll keep the price down if that's what
Yeah,
you want.
cause can't you like correlate the records that you need to be looking for with the years in which the town submitted their.
Yeah, but the
maps?
only thing we have, I mean, the V-Trans has a lot of that, and it's just incredibly sparse. So we're gonna have to start digging through land records of like adjoining property owners and stuff, yeah, yeah. It's real bad.
There's gotta be some foundations out there somewhere.
And if you go out, you know, the gate is here and then past the gate is a cul-de-sac. So at some point it was a real road to somebody.
Right.
There's a freaking cul-de-sac out there. So,
Yeah,
And we think it might be a town road?
we don't know, that's the problem. So we don't know how to address this guy's concern, because we don't know what road it is and if it's ours and how far it goes.
who's the landowner?
Is this Brooke and Sean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. That sounds like a good course of action.
And so, you know, when I talked to Larry, he's like, you know, you're gonna spend money on this, why do you guys wanna take on more road? I said, I don't necessarily wanna take on more road. But if it is class 3 town road, then we have to bring it up to spec, right?
Yeah.
Unfortunately, that
Or
our-
take another action.
yeah, or do something to not, but we have to know.
So we're not gonna just be like, oh, well, you know, in
Yeah.
1968, supposedly somebody typed up something
Right.
that said.
Yeah, there's
Our road
literally,
disappeared.
there's literally a one-word sentence in 1968 that said that the legal access rights were not acquired from the neighboring landowners. We've shortened the road. That was it.
Right,
And that's a select board notice?
to AOT.
Single sentence.
Yeah.
And it went a third of the length.
That does not sound like it follows the legal process.
Well. So this is the problem, like,
Yeah.
we need to figure out, I mean, I can walk it and see there's something there, it's a matter of who owns what and how.
Yeah.
I was very confused delivering the.
Town reports.
Town reports this year, yes, I was
Yeah.
like, whose mailbox am I at?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that makes sense, thanks.
So if it's okay with you guys, I told Larry, I said, we're meeting next Tuesday, I'll give you a ring back when I know more. but-
Yeah. Did the previous owners, cause like Brooke and John haven't been there for too long.
Been
A
a
couple of years, yeah,
Okay, so it's just been a camp that.
Yeah.
That wasn't being.
Something said we moved in there too, right?
But I think just.
So we won't let it go, basically.
Yeah,
Which
we
is
think-
fine, I mean, if he feels that he has a legitimate complaint, we have to figure that out.
Yeah. Okay.
Shouldn't we do that, or?
I think we would need to, and you think this is like worth the sole source?
Yeah,
In terms of-
I know, as someone who deals in surveyors all the time, there are probably 2 I would call for this, and he's the
Yeah.
first call, I don't know. if it-
We did, I can't remember the name of the guy, but when we
The
were
hand-
dealing with, yeah. Okay. So, yeah, I'll make a motion, what's the gentleman's name?
Larry Swanson.
That we
Lawrence, Larry.
hire Lawrence Swanson to conduct a updated survey of Rolling Rock Road. And if he has like a contract template that we could review, that would be great, and if. Yeah, it would be good to have some parameters around it,
Yeah.
just so that we're not spending like a crazy amount of money.
Yeah,
on this.
I, he,
Can I propose,
Yeah.
which rather than him to do a survey,
Mhm.
we wanna hire him initially to do some exploration for us. We're not starting with a full-on survey. Are we?
they're kind of one and the same. He doesn't have to give us meets and bounds, but if he was gonna start a survey, it'd be the same as.
But I mean, isn't it possible you could go into the land records and you could see that right now where we think the road ends, we can see that where the road continues and where this, the neighbor, the citizens are saying their road passes, we could learn that it's owned by Tom to the
Yeah,
middle
but that's,
and Sally to the center, in which case there's just no right of way that's not the town's issue.
But I think they're one and the same, because the first thing the surveyor is gonna do is sit down, he's gonna walk the road and he's gonna sit down in the land records and find that immediately. Say, I don't have to go out and
Okay.
put stakes anywhere, it's
Okay,
different.
that's what I'm saying, so
Right.
that was all I'm saying, we're not hiring him to go out and survey a particular
Right.
thing, we're
And
hiring
provide
to
us
figure it
with,
out, and then if he needs to survey it, fine.
That's correct.
Right.
Yeah.
Got
But
it.
that's what, that's how his actions would run anyway. The
Right.
first step
He
is
wouldn't
here. and then
carry
he goes
out a physical survey and.
Right. If
Okay.
necessary.
If he
Yeah.
comes back and says it's a road only 0.25, then
Yeah.
Right, then we don't.
So it's done.
Right, yeah, got it, thank you.
He's not, I mean,
What road
he
is.
will work whatever he wants.
Yep, yep.
Okay, so again, the motion is just to retain Larry to answer these questions related to the road
Yeah.
and conduct a survey, whatever form that takes.
Right.
Second,
Okay. All is in favor? Aye.
right,
All right, thank you. Yeah, did we miss anything?
Yeah. I hope not.
There's a long one
I got 3 invoices here that aren't on the list.
that aren't on the list.
I think, good job.
Thank
Paul, I can't believe you stayed, good
I know.
job.
No, thanks for staying, Chris, we don't have anybody to sit through.
Oh, okay, thank you.
Even Stuart comes, you don't stay.
That was an impressive feat of endurance there. Paul.
I know.
Good evening.
You too, Paul, thank
thank
you.
you, Paul.
Night, Paul.
Thank you, Jesse, sorry, I wasn't paying attention.
You're Jesse. Now, skipping right over you.
Yeah, right.
Oh, wait, you already said it.
I know, but we need
He
to
put
move
his
it.
hand out, so it's just.
Oh, no, Jesse, can you attest this hazard mitigation plan?
Referred to it as a word the other day, and my
And I
like, what are you
have
talking
the
about?
other grant documents, and I don't think
I'm like,
there's
it's working.
anything that. I need to sign that you would need to notarize. It looks like it's just on GMEDC, so they can.
Yeah,
Yeah, right,
On notarized.
Yeah.
They are giving us
Thank you.
title to the property.
or did you?
I'll make a motion.
The payment order?
Well, we have 2 sets, so I'll make a motion that it's gonna be complicated.
There should,
Do I have to vote separately on this or just say payment orders?
Oh,
I think they're all the same. Right? We don't usually date payment, or we don't usually call them out by date. That's just
We're just
payment.
too favorable that way
Yeah,
usually, I
think
think.
so.
Alright.
I'll make a motion that we approve the payment orders minus invoices for UniFirst and Centos until we get clarity on what's going on.
I'll second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Blue, how's payroll looking?
I move that we approve the payroll warrants for the payroll period September 7, 2025 to September 20, 2025 with a pay date of September 25, 2025, and also for the payroll period September 21st to October 4th, 2025 with a pay date of October 9th, 2025.
I'll second. All those in favor?
Aye.
All right, I think that's it. I'll make a motion that we adjourn.
Second,
All those in favor?
Aye.
all right,
Aye.
Lauren, we got one signature for you right there.
You guys signed all the guys, that's the comment.